Many of tennis top players of the last 2 decades have had high-profile injury issues in recent years, but one of them is about to make his return to action. Stan Wawrinka is set to return to tennis action at the end of this week after more than a year away from the sport with his latest injury layoff. The 3-time Grand Slam champion has been sorely missed by fans over the past 12 months, and has barely played at all since the COVID-19 pandemic began. Wawrinka has not played on the ATP Tour since a narrow defeat to Lloyd Harris at an event in Doha last March. After being knocked out of that tournament, he decided to undergo surgery on his left foot and has been in recovery ever since. It is not the first time the Swiss has suffered from long layoffs. He spent large parts of the 2018 season on the treatment table, including 3 months out with a knee problem. Despite climbing back up the rankings that year, he has struggled to reach the heights he once did earlier in his career. Wawrinka has barely played at all since the start of the pandemic 2 years ago. As the tour went on hiatus, his promising start to the season, the Swiss reached the quarter-finals of the Australian Open with wins over the likes of John Isner and Daniil Medvedev, was halted and he hasn't managed to gain any momentum since. His latest long layoff will come to an end this month, after it was confirmed the former world number 3 has been given a wild card for the Andalusia Open, which begins in Marbella on March 27. It marks his first appearance on the Challenger Tour since August 2020. After the news was announced by tournament organizers, Wawrinka took to social media to show his excitement. "Let's go," he wrote on Twitter, before a separate post which showed the Swiss on a private plane heading to Spain ahead of the competition. Rumors of an impending comeback began to swirl after the 36-year-old told L'Équipe that he was not ready to give up on his tennis career just yet. "I still have this flame inside me," he told the French newspaper, before adding, "I'm not done with my chapter on tennis." The height of Wawrinka's career came in the middle of last decade, when he won each of his 3 Grand Slam titles. After threatening to challenge the likes of countryman Roger Federer, as well as Rafael Nadal and Novak Djokovic, he finally secured that first major trophy at the 2014 Australian Open. The Swiss won the Davis Cup with his country later that year, and also reached his career-high ranking of 3rd in the world. He followed that up with titles at Roland Garros and the US Open over the next 2 years, though he has never managed to get beyond the last 8 at Wimbledon. After more than a year of inactivity, his ranking has slipped to 232nd in the world, meaning he will require wildcards to play at top events for the foreseeable future. A return to action on the ATP Tour is likely next month, after it was confirmed that Wawrinka has been given the chance to make his 12th appearance at the Monte Carlo Masters.